Guys, breathe in. Reset. All right, we're back. This conversation is one I've been looking forward to for a long time. This guy sitting next to me, I met in Silicon Valley also, maybe a decade ago or so?
15 years ago, 16.
Jeez, I don't remember. But 15 years ago, I met Paulo. And it's funny, I was looking back, we were here at Sundance doing step on repeats. I think it was a towel, or was it Silicon Valley? It was Silicon Valley, it was me, you, and Aura. There was Silicon Valley, not here. This guy has been building businesses for literally his entire life. Like, there should be child labor laws that preclude people from doing what he's done, but he's been building businesses since he was a child, literally. 4 exits, tens of millions of dollars in equity raised. I'm proud to call him a partner of mine as well, the Music Entrepreneur Venture Fund, which is a creator-focused venture capital fund that we are currently building. We want to invest in the next wave. And again, guys, let's fill in these seats here. Please join us. We're all friends here. Let's fill in these seats. The Music Entrepreneur Venture Fund is all about investing in the creator economy and the next generation of creative tools. We don't want to hear stories anymore about people being exploited for their rights and their royalties. We want to create equitable systems and invest in those systems so that they're scalable. Paulo, honestly, I don't even know all the things you do, bro, but what I do know about you is that you have been a serial entrepreneur. You've helped companies raise tens of millions of dollars. You are an LP in at least 4 venture funds that I'm aware of, including, I don't even fucking know how many. Mic check.
Check the room. 1, 2, 3. Yes.
7 venture funds. Let me say that one more time. You are a limited partner, which means you are an investor in 7 venture funds. 7. Just put that in context. And we don't have to go into all the details, but the minimums on those things are usually $25,000 at least, and more than like $250. So do the math. Also, it's the founder of multiple companies. The latest one, Eventsy, just sold to events.com, or not just, but sold to events.com. And now events.com is going public, which for all of the entrepreneurs in the room, we know that going public is basically the dream. You ring the bell at the NASDAQ, you get to put your picture in Times Square. That's like basically the greatest honor any entrepreneur can have is your company goes public, and assuming the stock price keeps going up, then it's great, right?
Assuming.
Yes, we're making a lot of assumptions here, but the point is that this guy has done so much for entrepreneurs globally. He's not even an American, right? From Italy, maybe it's my American arrogance to even say that. It's surprising, but
You don't know. I became American.
oh shit, he's saying it now.
America, fuck yeah.
America, fuck yeah. But you learned all this stuff and going through the process. That's not what we're here for. I want to learn a little bit more about you, brother. Check. I want to learn a little bit more about you. Even though we've known each other a long time, we've never actually done this. I'm sure we never interviewed you on stage, but we never actually had like a simple like conversation where we've been able to like chill. So, Paulo, first of all, tell me how to say your last name properly. Privitera?
Paolo Privitera.
Privitera, go. Privitera. I gotta say it like that, right? Privitera. What the fuck? How did you even start on this path, bro? Oh, by the way, my man just graduated from MIT Business School. Completely unnecessary education because this guy already had 3 or 4 exits, but he still decided to go to check MIT Business School to get that like additional expertise. I mean, I respect you so much, bro. And you always hear about people who are bi-coastal. This guy was living in California and going to business school in Boston. Think about this. He was living in San Francisco, going to business school in Boston for 2 years. It's ridiculous.
48 flights round trip. Intense.
Again, I'm going to say this again. He was living in San Francisco, going to business school in Boston, because that's how much he cares about what he's doing and how serious he is. So, brother, thank you for joining us. Tell us a little about your journey.
Thank you. Wow, I'm emotional. Mike?
Can't hold it at the bottom. You have to hold it at the top.
Oops. Okay. Better now? Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, everyone, I don't even know where to start. You said a lot. And the speakers before me set the bar really, really high.
You better deliver, bro.
Well, very easy. I was born and raised in Venice, Italy. I started my first tech company when I was 16 years old. It was 1994. It was coding. Actually, it was coding since I was 6. It was 1993. And then I just wanted to build things. And I built my first website in 1994. And I sold to more than 200 companies in the Venice area website between 1994 and year 2000. And when I was trying to sell the innovation, at the time, the answer to my offering was, oh, we just bought a new fax machine. It was 1994. So I didn't know about internet, I was having email address, I barely know what it was. So this is how we started. I actually started coding, so my background, people know, is computer science. And I found out that knowing how to build code and to build products doesn't make you a good entrepreneur. Because building companies is way more than building code and products. You need to sell, you need to talk to people, you need to talk to clients, and it's way more than coding. So I eventually moved to US in 2002. I was supposed to move September 16, 2001. Everybody knows what happened 5 days before. So I had to postpone my trip. And I still moved 2 months later. So I've been a US resident for 20 years. I built 6 companies from scratch, 2 failed, 4 acquired.
6 companies from scratch. That's sinking for the crowd.
Thank you. I went through a lot. Actually, I believe I made tons, hundreds, thousands of mistakes to the point that actually I'm writing a book about the lesson learned, all the mistakes I've done. And believe me, it was not easy being an immigrant here. Was not easy even to go through just visas themselves, was tough. Plus, even as Italian in the Bay Area at the beginning, I'm talking about 15 years ago, now, but it was very difficult. And people, oh yeah, Italian pizza and pasta. Holy shit, it's much more than that. It was tough. I learned a lot. I have actually a beautiful, I ended up building a speech for students. So what's giving me happiness is give back to students and entrepreneurs. So I developed a framework through which I am deploying my message that doesn't have to be boring, otherwise nobody's going to listen to you. So I built it through showing all the mistakes I've done. And I built this 20 lessons learned. And this is what I love doing when I have free time. I talk to students and these students, startups.
And so the gentleman sitting next to you is one of the companies you've invested in. Tell us about WeShort and how you guys are working together.
I'm gonna make this short intro. So we met. So part of what I do, I've been helping entrepreneurs for the last 20 years in any sort of formal capacity. And lately, when I hear an amazing idea anywhere in the world, my first suggestion is, okay, you and your team, you move to Silicon Valley because this is the best place on planet Earth to pretty much go from idea to execution to exit. Okay, so I meet dozens and dozens of startups every month, and only 2 or 4 of those per year I really like to invest my time, eventually money, and partner. And we met about 1.5 years ago. Alessandro is based in Italy. I fell in love with his idea, but even more with him as founder, because it's everything about the people and the founders at the beginning. The earlier is a startup, the more you invest in the people and the founding team, less in the product and the technology. And connecting the whole thing, so the triggering factor why I'm here is because Quasi invited me as partner at ME Ventures. So we invest into music tech, entertainment tech, and actually music tech and movies, Sundance, is not my field. I'm trying to push my boundaries and go further. So Alex is the founder of Reshirt. I'm gonna let him to give the full pitch, but so I thought it was amazing to connect the 3 things and invite him to US and work together. And this year we're part of his team, but I'm gonna let Alex make a short introduction and presentation to the company.
Thank you, Paolo. Check, check. 1, 2, 3. Check, yeah. Thank you, Paolo. Thank you, Quasi, for inviting. It's incredible to be here. The reason why we are here is because WeShort's mission is to make short films an everyday choice for a large-scale audience. When I started WeShort, I asked myself why people don't watch short films every day, and I didn't find a reason why people shouldn't do it. So I searched on the internet. I didn't find a platform that could give me a very cool user experience for short films. And I realized as a movie lover that short films were always sold as a niche or as something that you can practice and showcase the talent, but it's much more than that. It's entertainment. So what we are doing at WeShort is just making short films relevant as feature films and TV series. And what's interesting as a movie lover is to give the people the possibility to have a cinematic experience every day, in every moment of our life. At Sundance, we experience an amazing viewing of short films that are not less than feature films or TV series. This is what I believe. This is why when I founded WeShort, I found the name. WeShort itself expresses something really profound, because also in the name itself, we have a word that if you spell WeShort, at the first you spell wish, which means something really interesting. So we have a wish. We have a wish for all these filmmakers to make them relevant with their short films. They don't need to wait to make their feature become known to the audience. They can become known to the audience with their short films if there is someone that is doing marketing for them, is investing for them, is doing PRs for them. So this is what we are doing. And the WeShort platform is started in March 21st, 2021, so it's less than 2 years ago. And I have to say it's an amazing journey because we really love what we do. This is why our payoff is in short we trust. I was sitting in a bar, I'm from South of Italy, and I was thinking about the payoff of my company because the name was very easy. It came up in my mind because WeShort principles are a community, being a community, sharing. So it's really meaningful for us. But for the payoff, I don't know why at that time I had $1 in my pocket, even if I was in Italy. I don't remember the reason why, but I look at the dollar and I see something written on that dollar, in God we trust. So I said, okay, in short we trust. This is a business. We take really seriously short films and who makes them. And
You gotta connect with Ramfist, bro. Ricky, it's the hot shit.
I think that in the day of today, we have the opportunity to innovate film industry, starting from the simple innovation. And then going to that innovation into the tech innovation, which is giving a better user experience. We are also dealing with AI, blockchain, and so on. But what we really care about is the user experience, is giving something more to the users. And thanks to this experience, we can create value to these filmmakers that don't have to wait 30 years old. In Italy, some directors have to be 40 to make their first feature. So with the short films, we have the opportunity to increase the value of the artist and the director and the writing. And I think it's beautiful because, I wish I would go to the film school when I was younger, but I couldn't go to the film school, so I went to study languages at the university. I studied Russian, Spanish, and English, and literatures. So after that, I thought, what can I do with the knowledge I have? So I started traveling, and along all these years, I kept having this fire for films. So I asked myself, how can I give something to this industry?
Amazing, brother. Thank you so much for We Short. I mean, where can we find? What's the link? Is WeShort.com?
WeShort.com, and mobile app is
And basically, filmmakers who are doing 5 to 7 films can become a part of your ecosystem. Correct?
Well, we have a library of 1,000 short films on the platform. We are constantly acquiring content. So we are also here. The reason why we are here is because we want Sundance short films to be on WeShort. And
you
many
guys
of
have
them
an event tomorrow, right? Correct? What's the event tomorrow?
Yes, we have a panel tomorrow. It's called the New Short Cinema by WeShort. We are having this panel at the Box at Ray, 4:30 p.m.
Excellent.
So
All invited.
you are all
Yeah,
invited.
we'll
of
make
course.
sure people who are here are invited for sure. Thank you guys so much for sharing what you guys are building. And Paulo, of course, brother, you're my brother. So,
Thank
any
you.
pictures? Alex, where's Alex? Alex to the stage. Alex to the stage. Jason Steinhauer to the stage. Jason Steinhauer. History's about to get all disrupted right now. Guys, hang in. We have a performance from Max Louis to close out one panel with our good friend Jason Steinhauer, and then a performance from Max Louis. Jason Steinhauer to the stage. Thank you, Paulo. Thank you, WeShort. Kidding me? You guys killing the game. Really? I love pizza.
Yeah.
Here tonight, late night. Here? Okay. I'm gonna chat to you.
All right. Check. We're running a little late, guys, today, but it's just the nature of Sundance. Nobody wants to get up early. We're all partying late. We're going to close out this session pretty soon here, but we have a couple of really more amazing conversations coming out. Shout out to all the sponsors for our 2050 forums this year. Origin. Shout out to Origin Vodka, Open Nearest, Culture Shift Labs, Sayo, Could You, Ahura AI. Woo! Crypto Miami was good. Thank you to all. Check, Sammy Steigman. Sharon Migdal. Roland Hall, what's good? Mark Cianci, Steve Masor, thank you all. It's going to be a really great conversation. And then we'll have a performance from our good friend Max Louis to close out the day. Can I get another cocktail to the stage, please?
Yes. Whatever. Let's do it.
Check, check. Let's do it, guys. We're running short on time. Thank you to Misfit. Jason just said to me he doesn't tell. Yeah, I don't have to tell him how awesome he is, but that's wrong.
Excuse me, folks. Excuse me. May I have your attention, please?
Yeah, but
May I have your attention, please?
I'll tell you,
This is going to be the last panel of the day.
the last panel, the last 2054 panel. Jesus. The
So,
3 days.
let's get some people in their seats. Let's get everybody sitting.
I'm okay.
It's one of the best historians. So, like, listen.
That's why he's here.
If you have questions about history and activity, ask him.
All right, settle down, settle down, settle down.
Too kind.
It's true though.
Well, no one will know if they're not listening.
You know, if you guys want to talk, there's the breakout rooms downstairs and in the garage. Let's fill in here. Please, we're all friends. Let's move in. Hey guys, if you're in the back, please move in so other people can walk in. I see you, Brandon. Let's go. Sit down. Let's have a seat. All right. Wow. So this is the last panel, and you know, Jason, there's a reason why I saved the best for last. To be honest. I intentionally scheduled you to be our last speaker because you were one of the first people to say, you know what, Posse, I'm in. I believe in this vision of the 2050 forums. And you know what? You booked your plane ticket without even really confirming anything. And I was just inspired by you. I was like, oh shit, Jason's in, I'm in. Like really, honestly, that's exactly what happened. I met Jason during the pandemic. He hosted a club called the History Club, which was one of the most successful clubhouse groups. I think he has about 100,000 followers. I was the founder of another clubhouse club, the UN 75 Club, and we were kind of like this weird symbiotic relationship. And I only had 50,000 followers, so you see Jason was much more successful than I was in clubhouse, for whatever that's worth. But what I learned in that process was a little bit about Jason and his work as a historian. Technology and how technology history, which is kind of a weird because history is supposed to be things that we can't change, and technology is supposed to be something that we're doing next. But Jason, talk to us about how technology is actually affecting our past.
Okay, so first thing, I want to just take a minute, if we can, to acknowledge the Lunar New Year, which started.
Yes. Don't pay back to
And yesterday, my wife and I were at a house on Main Street devoted to AAPI issues and AAPI causes. And it was wonderful to be around so many AAPI members of the community. And, you know, there's not as many here today, but it's an important day for many of our fellow Americans and people around the world celebrating their New Year. So I wanted to just give some respect to that.
Happy New Year.
To that. And I want to take this conversation in a couple directions. So the first thing I want to say is this. I'm going to pick on you a little bit because I love you. Here it comes. Earlier, you said that the way that we shape society is through art and culture and film and music. A very important word and a very important category. And I noticed it, and I wonder if anyone else in the room noticed it. And that word was scholarship. Okay? It is the scholarship and research by scholars, by historians, anthropologists, sociologists, that has told us and showed us so much of our world. The scholarship that has been done for decades and decades, centuries in fact, is the foundation upon which much of our current knowledge exists, right? And yet, when we come to these conferences like South by Southwest and Sundance and others that I've been to, scholars are virtually invisible. Historians are virtually invisible. How many historians are speaking at Sundance this year?
I think there's at least one.
Right? How many speak at South by Southwest? How many get invited to be in the conversation with tech? Right? So I think one of the reasons I wrote this book, one of the reasons this book is called History Disrupted, is because so much of our modern sensibilities are obsessed, perhaps rightly so, with technology, with film and music and media and entertainment. And We forget to invest in, we forget to support scholarship in the humanities, which makes so much of this possible. And here I'm going to quibble with my other friend from Utah who's not listening to me right now. I'm going to pick on her as well. Because she challenged, what does government do better than anybody else besides defense? On the humanities. The National Endowment for the Humanities funds hundreds of millions of dollars worth of scholarship every year. And unfortunately, they are one of the only places left in the United States that funds scholarship, because so much of the other money has gone towards tech and media and entertainment and other ways that people want to make money, earn influence, develop new products. In fact, if the National Endowment for the Humanities didn't exist, then the Utah State Council for the Humanities wouldn't exist, because NEH funds all 50 state councils for the humanities. There wouldn't be professors at universities if it wasn't for the National Endowment for the Humanities and what the federal government makes possible through NEH, IMLS, Library of Congress, US National Archives, etc. So I think one of the reasons I wrote this book, one of the reasons I wanted to come to this conference and be part of this conversation, is to disrupt all of your thinking and to make you think critically about whether you recognize the role that historical scholarship plays in your life, whether you're doing enough to advocate for scholarship for the humanities in your life, whether you are willing to stand with me and people like me to say that, yes, we need intellectualness in our society, and the foundation upon which so much else gets built.
Yes. I'm in. That's the answer, Jason. I am in.
Well, to that point then, did you know right now that across the country, there are about 20,000 history organizations? 80% of them have a budget below $200,000. There are people in this room who make more than an entire history organization in the state of Utah. That is how underfunded history and humanities are in this country. History departments are being closed down because of lack of funding. History teachers in schools don't have the funding to do the work, so they're going to other places. History museums are closing, particularly after the pandemic, which devastated so many museums because they rely on in-person visitors for so much of their funding. So if we believe that history is important and that scholarship is important and that humanities are important and that there's a role in it for our society, we need to fund it, we need to support it, and we need to speak up. And so on the heels of this book, what I've done is I've created something called the History Communication Institute. And the goal of the HCI is to work with tech, to work with media, entertainment, policymakers, journalism, Raymond, others, to say that history is important, needs to be part of the fabric of our lives, but we need to think about new and different ways to communicate it. We need to do new and creative ways to get kids and students engaged with their history. We need to liven up museums, make them fun for people of all ages, get people to engage with artifacts, see artifacts on the blockchain, take a piece of an artifact home with them, right? Connect with it in different ways. And so that's what I want to do, because I'm worried about the future of history. I'm worried that history might have been so disrupted that it's actually going to disappear. And I know that the only way we're going to bring it back and save it is by working together collaboratively with other stakeholders.
Wow. I think that's it.
Are we done? Are we good?
No, Jason, I gotta say, brother, that you were one of my favorite people on earth. This is your book, History Disrupted. And I was lucky enough to be at the launch of it in Philadelphia. This guy has done 93 speaking gigs. This is 94, correct?
No, I did one for the Smithsonian a couple days ago.
So
95.
95. Jesus, I can't even keep track. 95 speaking gigs. This is all over the world, because this book is changing the way we're thinking about technology and history. Very simply.
Yeah, I was fortunate to be the keynote speaker at NSA, National Security Agency. It's a really cool thing to scary thing to walk into NSA and see your face everywhere. It's like, am I wanted? Are they after me? Or am I? Yeah. So, but I got to go to Europe. I spoke to the European Parliament about the book. And the reason that the book has touched the nerve, I think, is because what you said earlier, right? We've thought so much about how social media has changed our journalism, it's changed our politics, it's even changed the way we talk about public health. but no one had written a book about how social media has shaped what we know about history. And this seemed to me like a very glaring piece of the puzzle. How do we understand our world if not for history? How do we understand social media's effect on our world if we don't think about how it's changed our views of the past? So that's why I wrote the book, and you'll be glad to know it's only 168 pages. So you can learn all about the internet and history in 168 readable pages. But it has struck a nerve. I've done lots of media about it. I've done lots of government stuff about it, and I've done festivals about it. But I think the real point here is, again, to make sure that history and the humanities are part of the conversation. And that is what I repeat everywhere that I go. And I saw this firsthand when I worked on Capitol Hill. I worked at the Library of Congress for 7 years. Another thing that the government does better than anybody else. Library of Congress.
Libraries, thank go government.
The Library of Congress actually enables all the other libraries to happen because they use our cataloging system. So the cataloging system from the Library of Congress is actually used by every other library in the world, especially in the United States. Also, the Library of Congress sends books for free to prisons for inmates. People don't know we do that. Wow. But I saw on Capitol Hill, a meeting with policymakers and congressional staff, that historians were never invited to the conversation. And so this has been a passion of mine for a while, and I think that historians have a lot to contribute to tech. Particularly thinking about the panel that happened earlier, like this notion of informed consent. Well, sometimes you don't actually know what the consequence of a technology is until 20 years later. So how can you have informed consent about something that hasn't happened or will not happen for 20 years? History allows us to see that. History allows us to see long-term consequences, how things play out over the long term. The longue durée, as Brodel once said. If you're not factoring that into the equation, then you're operating with one hand tied behind your back. And so one thing we've also seen how whenever a new technology comes out, it always creates inequalities. History shows us that, right? So when we're thinking about a technology or a new platform that's coming out, we also have to take cues from history and say, how is this going to create winners and losers? And how are those losers going to be disproportionately affected? And how is it going to set them back, not just for this generation, but future generations? How is it going to create wealth inequalities? How is it going to create social inequalities? Technologies reorder and shape our world. If we don't think about that, then we're not thinking historically and we're not making good decisions.
Drew?
Jason, so I think you just be, I don't even need to be here. This book is called History Disrupted. Jason Steinhauer is the author. This guy is a scholar and a gentleman, and a person I'm happy to call a friend. Check this book out. It will help you reshape your thinking about all this stuff. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to take questions because we have to have Max Luis join us on stage. Jason, how can people find you? And actually, Jason Coin is available, which is your cryptocurrency. Correct?
So, real quick. So I brought a few copies of the book. Now, I'm an independent author. I'm a scholar at the Wilson Center. So one of the ways that I support myself is I sell books. So if you wanted to purchase a book from me afterwards, please feel free to do so. But if you don't, I don't take it personally. You can find me on many platforms. Just search my name. I've got a website. I've got social media. I've got all this
Jason,
stuff.
how do you spell your name specifically?
Well, it's on the cover of the book. So get the book.
E-I-N-H-A-U-H-E-R.
Yeah. And so I'd love to stay in touch with any and all of you, and thank you for listening.
Jason, thank you for being here. I think we need a picture, bro.
Let's do it.
It's like red carpet at the Oscars right now. Jason, you were one of the first people I thought about when I decided to do this project. I'm honestly just, that's why I made even closer, bro. So, Max Luis to the stage to close out 2050 Forums at Sundance. Max Luis. And we're gonna rock it out. Thank you to all the speakers. Thank you to Misfit House. Thank you, AJ, Rampus, Nick, Melissa, it's been an amazing experience. Thank you to all of our speakers, Sharon Migdal, Sammy Stockman, Stephen Hartman, Coach Dills. This has been a sprint. Now we're at the end of it, but you know, it's actually the beginning because this is the spark, the catalyst conversations. We haven't figured it out yet, but hopefully this will help us get there. Tomorrow, we will be hosting Africa House, not here, but at Macro Lounge and at the Lighthouse. So DM me if you want information about Africa House tomorrow. Let's pull everybody in, guys. We're gonna close this out. Let's have a seat. Everyone, come on in, come on in, come on in. Next one, Raymond, come on in. This is literally the capstone performance for the 2050 forums. Our good friend Max Louis. I've literally traveled the world with this man.
Is there somewhere you can see the audience? I don't know, whatever.
Hey guys, let's fill in here. Let's fill in here. Let's fill in these seats. Let's fill in these seats, Paulo. Let's fill in these seats. Let's sit. Let's fill it in. We need to give Max the energy. Mark Cianci, have a seat. Looking great, Nadine. I love that hat. All right, guys, let's do it. Come on, let's do it. We have one more session. Our good friend Max Louise. Shout out to Misfit. I know we're going overtime, but this is the last session. Nick. The last. Tonight, we will be partying here at Misfit till 6 a.m. If you guys like to dance, this has been the hottest dance party in Park City the last 3 nights. I literally came here last night at 4 a.m. and had a 3-hour dance party at 4 a.m. So get here early if you actually want to be a part of this, the Misfit movement. Thank you, AJ. Thank you, Ramfis. Thank you, Nick. All right. So this gentleman next to me, Max Luis, I feel like I've been able to hang out with all my friends this week, which has actually been fucking awesome. Thank you all for being a part of the 2050 forums. Give yourself a round of applause right now. This is the seed for hopefully what will grow an entire ecosystem of impact. My goal.
It's happening.
Apparently it's happening. Nadine says I trust her. So my goal with these conversations is really just to bring all my friends together who are doing amazing things all over the world, and to try to create a faster ability for us to make the change we want to see. Max Luis, as I said, the last 2 days, you guys have heard this before, he's one of the most talented young artists in the world today.
That's true.
I'm going to say that again. He's one of the most talented young artists in the world today.
Max.
I'm going to let him do his thing and talk about Gaia House, which is a project that he's building as an entrepreneur in addition to his music. And then we're going to hear a little bit of Max's music, which many of you have had the opportunity to do the Cup Festivities, but I can never get enough, honestly, bro. So, again, I'm just as excited as I was the first time as I am right now.
Wow, thank you so much, Posse. Dude, that's such a huge compliment from you, working with everybody from Jay-Z and Diddy to the Roots and some of the best music people ever. So, thank you so much, seriously. So before I sing, I'm going to talk a little bit about our project, Gaia House. So some of the panelists were speaking a lot about the future, how social media is affecting the world, and how social media is to some degree being almost weaponized as a way to control consciousness and the future of how we think and how we consume. And so this project called Gaia House is a response to that. It's an opportunity to take creators and put them in places where they're able to volunteer, where they're able to learn about different cultures in third world countries. So we just took 13 influencers reaching about 27 million combined followers to the Dominican Republic last month and did a lot of volunteer work. And so when you think about what we really did is we exposed 27 million people to the Dominican Republic and to those different nonprofits and causes and what that culture is really like, and showed them an example of what it really means to use your voice for something positive. And I think when you do that, it's life is a lot more fulfilling. Social media and entertainment industry in general can be a very empty, soul-sucking place.
Really? I had no idea.
Yeah, and for an artist or for someone who's creative, you just want to celebrate being alive. That's what art is. It's just celebrating, the human experience. But then when it becomes monetized and corporatized, it kind of loses that heart. And that's what's happening right now on social media. And what's really prevalent is, depression, suicide, because we have all these things encouraging young people to have body dysmorphia, to compare themselves to each other, to bully each other. And as one of our panelists was mentioning earlier, the AI behind social media is actually cultivating and encouraging that. So if we can pull up the video of Gaia House, we can show actually what we were able to do.
Yeah, let's run that.
Direct you guys over to the screen over here.
That's cool, bro. That's good.
We live in a beautiful world. It's fascinating, full of colors, flavors, sounds, cultures, love, pain, struggle. And yet, most of us never see past this 6-inch screen. This is our reality, a generation of lost young souls, smiling on the surface, but living in constant fear. We are taught to self-obsess. Trending narrative is, you are inadequate, but hey, we can numb the pain by using one of our strategically placed products. Social media, our safe space, has become a tool for corporations to exploit and monetize the deepest insecurities of our youth. And it's left us feeling broken, hopeless, and without purpose. This is why Gaia House was created. We are the world's first nomadic content house for social impact. A growing community of content creators assembling around a shared purpose. We travel the globe finding stories that matter and educate our viewers, then empower them with tools to get directly involved. We support the rehabilitation of communities, the rescue of animals, reforestation of land, education of young children, the cleaning of our oceans, and the providing of basic necessities to poverty-stricken areas. Content creators have a reputation for seeking nothing but vanity and leading superficial, self-serving lives. But there's a reason why billions of youth, an entire 3 generations, relate to us on such a deep level. This is our opportunity to shift culture itself and craft the future we want. Join us. You don't have to watch the world burn from the sidelines. You don't have to wait on anyone else. Join the family. Let's write our story together.
I want to go to that.
Thank you guys so much. Hey, shout out to our film crew, by the way, who produced that and back there. Jalen is not here today, but shout out to them. So, yeah, what's really amazing, influencers who are used to getting paid.
Influencers who are used to getting paid money to do any little thing, to post anything, to be anywhere, showed up at this, and not only did they participate, but then at the end of the trip, they donated their own money to put together that check that you saw at the end of the video to send a graduating class of Mariposa Foundation, which is a school for girls that empowers girls in the Dominican Republic to be able to lead really, they come from a really poor area. It gives them an opportunity to not end up in like the sex trade and instead to, have amazing careers. So influencers put together their money and, sent them to college, which is really amazing.
Shout out to Gaia's. It's good.
Thank you. So our next step, check. Hello. Our next step is to
Partner, we're looking to partner with sponsors and to be able to take this to the next level and do this with a, on an even bigger level, and to go around the world telling these stories in Bhutan, Nepal, all around the world. So, yes, we want to go to Ghana.
Gotta come to Ghana. Gaia's Ghana.
We definitely want to come to Ghana.
It's happening.
We just need a little bit of money to do that. So, any sponsors in the room want to jump on? But yeah,
Grit Daily, Black Telegraph, Origin Vodka. We'll figure it out.
so anyway, our mission is
to mentor and guide the icons of today's society, to influence their followers, which is the entire world, to think globally and to think impactfully. And how can we affect people around us in a positive way? Because that's how you lead the most fulfilled life, and how you can truly be happy, and how we can create a future, a planet that we all want to live on. So that's Gaia's mission. Check us out. And now I'm going to sing our theme song.
Sweet.
Thank you so much for having us here, Quasi. This is an amazing event you curated.
This is Max's 4th performance this weekend.
Yeah.
And I'm just as excited right now as I was the first time when I heard you perform in New York months ago. Let's go.
Thank you. The song is called Happiness. Can we get the guitar, a little more volume on the guitar?
Turn my headphones up.
Would you rather be?
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna fix this.
No, we'll get to it.
Okay. You're good. Ah, there we go. Would you rather be happy or famous? You choose. 'Cause we live in a world where you gotta chase, gotta keep up, you lose. Oh, baby, it's no wonder our children run the whole world. They're so confused. Yeah. 'Cause we talk about kindness, but the hatred and the violence get the most views. I'm just saying. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Do I follow? Ooh, ooh, ooh. That's the way. Ooh, ooh. Yes, lady. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I would rather be happy than famous if I had to choose. Keeping it real, and it feels like the less I try to fit in, the more I speak my truth. Yeah. If I ain't talking about money, drugs, cars, and clothes, killing, I'm just smashing hoes. Anybody be listening? Oh, try to be happy, not famous. You should too. Hey, yeah. Ooh, ooh. Do I follow? Ooh, ooh. That's the way. Ooh, ooh. This feeling. Ooh, ooh.
I follow. Thank you guys so much. Such an honor to close out this forum.
OMG! What just happened? Shout out to Misfit. Shout out to. Oh my God! I'm just. Excuse me. I can't even. Shout out to Misfit. Oh my God, dude. I don't even know. Nick, do we have time for one more? One more. We gotta get. One more. Next week. One more, brother. Oh, you're so over. Thank you, Mac. Thank you, Misfit. Seriously, we are so over time, but it's a Sundance. This is how we roll. It's all about the flow. This energy is killing us, brother. You're giving us light right now, so you gotta give us some more. Let's go.
I got you, man. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna do one that probably everybody knows, so you can sing along. There is freedom within. There is freedom without. Trying to catch the thumbs in a paper cup. There's a battle ahead. Many battles are lost, but you never see the end when you're traveling with me. Hey now, don't dream it's over. Hey now, the world comes in. They come to build a wall between us. And they know that they won't win. Now I'm turning my car. There's a hole in the roof. My lessons and cows and misconception with this. And in the paper today, spoke of war in the race, but it's over to the TV page. Hey now, don't dream it's over. Hey now, the world goes in. They come to build a wall between us, and they know that they won't win. Hey now, don't dream it's over. Hey now, when the world comes in, they come to build a wall between us, and they know that they won't win.
What? Oh my God, bro. Are you kidding me? Give it up for Max Lee! All right. Fuck, man. Nick's so pissed right now. He's so pissed. Can I hear Sam Smith? Can I hear Sam Smith before we close? Is that okay? I just that's my favorite jam of it. And then we're gonna just do like the 1 minute version. And then we're gonna close.
Do the 10-minute version.
No.
This is true, I'm not good and a one night stand. Yeah.
What?
But I still need love because I'm just a man. These nights never seem to go play.
What?
I don't want you to leave, will you hold my hand? I want you to stay with me, 'cause you're all I need. I'll let you have time to be, but now you stay with me. Why you lie so emotional? No, it's not a good
could gain some self-control. These nights I know it's never else. Ooh, yeah. You can lay with me so many thousand nights. Sing it. Oh, won't you stay with me?
What?
'Cause you're all I need. All this in love, it's clear to see.
What?
Darling, stay with me. Oh,
Grammys.
One more time.
American Music Awards.
Oh, won't you stay with me? Cause you're all I need. All this in love is clear to see. But darling, stay with me.
Thank you. Thank you, Posse. Thank you, Media. Thank you, Sundance. Thank you.
OMG. Fuck. I just want to thank all of you, everyone who's come and been supportive of this 2050 Forums Experiments. This is what it is. This is a living, breathing thing, an idea I had when I could not sleep. And it actually brought all of us together. So I don't even know what to think about that except dream it, believe it, achieve it. Yeah. It's a real thing, actually. I decided to produce this mini conference 4 weeks ago. People flew in from all over the world. People flew in from all over the world. Everyone in this room came to be a part of this in the last 4 weeks because they believed in this mission, which is to save humanity and be a part of the positive impact that we can make to make that happen. Shout out to Nespa, shout out to Naima, shout out to Ahura AI, shout out to Origin, Gaia House. The list of sponsors, honestly, is so long, I can't even, I'm gonna try. Magic Fund, Could You, Grit Daily, Black Telegraph, Fast Company, SIO, Misfit House, Ramfish Productions, Me Ventures, wow, right? Wow. Events.com, Eventsy, Sammy Steigman, Sharon Migdal. Are you kidding me? It's been fucking ridiculous. This has been fucking ridiculous. I never expected this to actually happen. Jason Steinhauer, everyone that you've seen on this stage the last 3 days flew out here to be a part of this because they believe in this mission. And I only hope I can provide the next step in this process to hopefully create the future that we all want to see.
Yes.
Yeah, can we all do a hand for Posse who's organized this entire thing?
Right now. Send this to my mom. Seriously. Wow. Shout out to Misfit House for making all of this possible. AJ, where the fuck are you, bro? I'm gonna grab that man bun when I see him later. But seriously, thank you guys all. I don't even know what to say right now, except thank you all. And this mission is not about me or about any of us, it's about all of us. We hope we will still be here in 2050. We all have the ability to make the choices that will either enable us to be here in 2050 or not be here in 2050. It may seem like a long time from now, but the year 2000, which all of us were here for, is about the same exact time we are from 2050, right? So it's not that far off. It's in all of our lifetimes. We have the ability to either push humanity in the right direction, so we have 2060, 2070, 2080, 3000, or we're not going to be able to continue to evolve humanity at the 2050. So it's on all of us in this room. I know it's a heavy thing to put on all of us, the future of humanity, but
But it is.
that's reality of where we are today.
Yes, we got this. Yeah. Remember the song we
Thank you to all of our sponsors and partners. I'm gonna wrap here. After party tonight, here at Misfit, here till 5 a.m. If you guys like to dance, come here tonight.
Woo!
You'll be able to get your party on.
Till 5 in the
Let your
morning.
freak flag wave here, literally. Oh, actually, we're till like 7, not even a permit. Let's just say 5. Let's say 5. 5 a.m. legally, 5 a.m. But you know, it goes like.
It never stops.
Thank you to all of our sponsors, partners, speakers. I'm Fossey. We out. Peace.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Translation, get the hell out.
I'll be here tonight.
I'm a singer. I offered. You didn't. Great. Next is amazing.
I've been in
Man, that was great. Thank you. I really did not expect crowded house, but I'm glad you went.
Oh, thank you.
Why is that song so popular in your generation? There's so many covers of it.
It's like a, it's like a protest song. It relates to and it's a song of hope too. It's like both at the same time. It's kind of music I like to write. Taylor. You play?
Do you play electric too?
so fucking happy.
I play a lot of other instruments as well.
Where can I find you on YouTube and everything?
Add each other on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Everything is important.
I just recorded it.
Don't take pictures of my tears.
Oh, good. Tears are good. Beautiful.
That's me.
Yeah. Oh,
That's me.
this is your AI.
This is the man.
That's cool.
I like that.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
I do back right after.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, guys. You're changing history. Oh, let's do that too.
You have to put it here.
Oh, no. Okay.
I'll take it.
No, you don't put it into your phone. I don't do it.
Can I get it here?
Where are you guys based on?
I live in Hawaii, but
Max is supposed to be traveling around, so right now his home base is
Group picture, guys. Group picture. Group picture. Group picture. Jason Steinhauer, get in here. Group picture.
Can I give my wife my phone number?
Okay, you guys gotta all post this pound 2050 forums. Post this to your social. Pound 2050 forums.
Woo! Go here. Go here. Go here.
Wait, in the way to like that.
It's just a very long guitar. I gotta get a picture. Can you grab, somebody grab my phone also?
I'll send it to you.
Wow.
Coming in.
Victoria, come on. Victoria, come on. This is epic. This is one of the
Technology.
I love every person here. Really.
Let's move this out of the way. Let's move this out of the way.
He's coming to
Do
get
you want to?
Stella.
Can you move this?
Where's that panel light? Panel light? Where? On the chair, hang on. Oh, yeah, here we go. Look, if I'm taking the picture, you know, I've never done this.
Right to the camera. Look at the right light, everybody. 3, 2, right light, and now I need to have like hands in the air. Oh, and up top. Look up top.
So here's what's beautiful now. It's watching.
Yeah. Turn on your airdrops.
Yeah, of course, Riley. I own Riley. Oh, that's a having a rally. Oh, that's or they trying to create it. No, but I know you know those. We're building the platforms. Wait, are you focusing on this? We own this area. And nobody knows
the Instagrams and the Googles, and that we're going to build an ownership solution to sharing digital ownership relationships